A tutorial by Learn Fast Studios.
Welcome back. In this session, we are going to learn about different types of the sequence data types which are available in Python. There are 6 different types of the sequence data types in Python, starting with an string, tuple, byte. These 3 different types of the sequences are said to be as an immutable data types. Let me tell you what is this immutable data type mean. Suppose if you store some of the elements in a variable which is declared of the type of either string, tuple or byte, later in your program if you are trying to change the value of in it, then it gives you an error. So that is the concept of immutability. Let me tell you about the mutable data types and in sequence. There are 3 different types of the mutable sequences, starting with a list, byte array, and then last one is a range object. Let us discuss all these sequences one by one, starting with a string. String is a sequence that is designated to store the set of characters as in one single object. These set of objects can be stored in the string using either single quotes, double quotes or triple quotes. Suppose if your text is of single line, then we can make use of single quotes. Suppose if the single quotes are being the part of the string, then we can make use of the double quotes. Suppose if the double quotes are being the part of your string, then we can make use of the triple quotes. Even the triple quotes will help us to store the multiple lines of the strings, text data. So in order to process this text data, we will be preferring the use of this string sequence. So the string sequence is going to store all these set of characters in an ordered list. Suppose if you store the values A, B, C as in one string, then A will be stored at the location 0, B will be stored at the location 1, C will be stored at the location 2. This will follow as it is. Till the end of the string, this will continue. Let us now discuss about how to store the heterogeneous data type of the elements as a group. So in order to store the heterogeneous of objects as a bunch, then Python provides an excellent feature called as a tuple. Tuple in Python can hold the different types of the elements or even the same type of the elements, a set of elements together, bunch, using the tuple object. In order to create tuple, it's very easy. You store all these set of elements which are separated by the comma, embed them in between the parentheses. Let me tell you one more special thing about this tuple. Even though if you say a variable name equal to a set of values separated by comma, even though you don't embed them in the parentheses, then all those list of the values can make a tuple. Limitation with respect to this tuple is it is an immutable object. For example, you have an image. In this image, you have a lot of pixel information. In order to get all this pixel information and handle all this information, you need to have an versatile data type which can be best fit for holding the type of the values, all these type of the values which are of the type byte. The sequence list will help us to handle the heterogeneous type of the elements as an ordered set. These heterogeneous elements can be indexed as well as sliced, and then they can be concatenated. At the same time, they can be replicated. So these are the various operations that we can perform on any sequence. Let me tell you now how to create a list. In order to create a list, it is very easy for you. You just embed all the set of elements separated by the commas within the square brackets. That forms a list. You can also create a list object simply by calling the constructor of the list function. Let me tell you one more type of the sequence data type, which is nothing but the byte array. Byte array is byte array similarly works as an byte, which is used to store the sequence of the bytes. But the difference between the byte and an byte array, byte is an immutable sequence type, whereas an byte array is an mutable sequence type. That is only the difference. The rest of all the things, whatever the operations that you can perform over the byte, you can also perform the similar kind of the operations in the byte array. In order to create a byte array, it is very easy for us to handle. First one is, you can either make use of byte array of size. If you mention that, then it is going to create those many number of null bytes. Suppose if you call the constructor byte array of a particular iterable object, then it is going to create a sequence of the bytes in that particular